All right. Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, and your double honors unto the apostles and elders a great millstone, and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. And it's the brother Quara Abad from the GMS Houston camp. And I want to go into another lesson. Just sitting, catching up on videos, from the apostles, brothers from all throughout this day. Just looking at a couple articles, seeing things was going on in the world. And I had this topic that hit my spirit. I just want to speak on it. Lord willing, this lesson do be edifying. But the title that I text myself, so I didn't forget what I want to talk about, I said, the closer we get to the end, the more people will begin to lose their minds. You see, the closer, and that's if I titled that, but the closer we get to the end, the more that these people will begin to lose their minds, man. And I was just doing a little meditating earlier, and it was to the point that man, the Lord really got these people in a trick bag, man. And it's amazing to be a part of prophecy. It's amazing to see these things, is what I mean. See them play out, understand what's going on. And, have that opportunity from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to know ahead of time. So therefore we can separate ourselves from the cares of this life, from the pressures of this life. Even having our mindset that certain loved ones that may be close to us, we understand that, look, we may lose some of them. So Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai have gave us the comfort of knowing that uncomforts are coming. Right? The Lord have gave us the comfort knowing that uncomforts are coming. Things gonna be taken away from us. We already know that. And then, the point is that when these things happen, the everyday, the average, American, the everyday citizen, when these things happen to them, you see, when they think about it, when these people, when life really get hard, look how bugged out and impatient these people already are. Just traffic, for a small example. But think about when these people lose their loved ones, when loved ones die, wives get raped in front of husbands, children get raped and killed in front of husbands. You see, people ain't go, at the times we come in there, people ain't gonna have nothing else to care for or about. It's kind of gonna be the mindset that, look, only the strong survive. Every man for himself, man. That's going to be the mindset in people. Because, look, they're going to see, one, that it's at the end of the world. All things are being taken and nobody care. Nobody going to care for one another, man. So, therefore, every man going to be on his own trying to defend himself. And it's going to be the time that whatever goes, whatever happens, that's going to go, man. You see? And I just got a few precepts that came to mind because that's true. So, and man, thank you, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, that he gave us the, like I said in Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge going to be the stability of our time. What we know, what we hope for, that's going to keep us stable. This truth that's in us when we don't have nothing else in the world, that's going to keep us stable, man. But let me get this first real quick just to paint a picture to show things about to get worse in the world and it ain't going to let up. This 2nd Ezra chapter 14, just real quick. It's like my phone working a little slow. This 2nd Ezra chapter 14, I'm going to read this in the GNT. 2nd Ezra 14, I'm going to start at, I'll start at 14. 2nd Ezra 14 and 14. I'm going to start at 13 because it's going into the end of the world. It says, verse 13, so seeing we're at the end of the world, it says, so set your house in order, warn your people, and comfort those who are humble, and teach those who are wise, and then, check this out, and then say goodbye to this mortal life. See, the Lord already got us separated from this place. We don't have the same cares that we once had. The same excitements and love for things of this world as we once had. We ready for this shit to go, man. Now, but think about the people in this world who fully indulging in it. And that's something else I was thinking about. Lord, I could do a lesson on that, man. Because how all of a sudden these past couple of years, Esau been allowing all these people to get rich and famous from the internet. Think about it. YouTube, TikTok, right? Investments and Bitcoin. And what I was kind of considering the other day, and Lord, when I do a lesson on, is that I kind of, I kind of see why Esau been letting children and all these type of people become millionaires, OnlyFans, over the internet. Why? Because when the economy crash and it be an EMP attack or a blackout, those people who depended on that internet money, all that shit gonna be gone. And therefore, just to get it back, they're gonna be willing to take the MOTB, man. Another digital form of currency. But the point is, you have people who tied to this world, just like Lot's wife. She was tied to her possessions in Sodom and Gomorrah. That's why she couldn't just leave them like that. But the Lord told us, say goodbye to this mortal life, man. It's over. It's over. It says, 2 Ezra 14 in chapter 14, it says, then say goodbye to this mortal life, put earthly cares away from you, and throw down your human burdens. See, the things that's heavy, weighing heavy on us, work, car problems, and, shit like that, man. We ain't got time for that. Let these people worry about little things of the flesh. It says, and throw down your human burdens and lay aside your weak human nature and put all your anxieties aside and get ready to leave this world quickly. It says, you have seen many evil things already, but far worse things are about to happen. And that's the point. We're in a time to where at the end of the world, the Lord said it's going to be a time like never before. The point is, we are finally here to where far worse things are actually about to happen. And we go witness them. We gonna see them. And that's another thing why these people gonna lose their mind. Because of these new, strange events that the Lord bring on the earth. There's gonna be some of these people ain't seen on the movie yet, ain't seen on the TV. Think about the newly created creatures that the Lord go send out. Think about what's really about to happen in this world. Without this truth, without Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man, these people gonna lose it, man. As a matter of fact, we'll end it off with that in 2 Ezra 5. How it says that incontinency gonna increase. And what that is, a lack of self-control. Again, going into the point, the closer we get to the end, the more people will begin to lose their minds. Hard times are here. But let's finish reading this. What's that it? 2 Ezra 14 and 17. As the world, I'm going to read 16 again. You have seen many evil things already. It says, before worse things are about to happen. As the world grows older and weaker, the evils that will come upon its people will multiply. The Lord didn't say will add, no, multiply, which means in one instant it could be times. You see, not just add. No, the Lord said times, which means, for example, say if one day come during Jacob's trouble, and it just gonna be one event that's gonna happen. Those gonna be multiple things going on at one time. You see, multiple things going on at one time. The Lord bringing great dangers to this world. And like it's saying, Amos, you ain't going to be able to run or hide anywhere, man. But let's get this real quick. And I got two more that's on my spirit. This 2 Ezra 15. It was in 2 Ezra 14 because it told you about the evils that's coming. Now let's go to chapter 15 real quick. Just to show the people it's going to reach its boiling point here in a few. 2 Ezra chapter 15. I'm going to read this in the GNT as well. 2 Ezra 15 and verse 14 in the GNT, it says, the world and the people in it are doomed. Right. The world and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring their destruction is very near. World War III, right? It says the war that will bring their destruction is very near. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. There will be great political turmoil, with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government. We see that going on right now. You see, these nations are not worried about the old treaties they once had with one another. They ain't worried about what, if I was in NATO, you was in EU, we agree. They ain't worried about all that no more. What these nations are trying to do is see who will have the top spot or one of the top spots in this new digital system. All the constitution and all that shit going out the door. But this is the point I want. And so at the time of the new digital system coming in, to be informed and established, which Esau think is going to happen, which is not, the Lord ain't going to allow them to finish it. But at the time this digital system going to be coming in, that's when the people go lose their minds. Why? Because the life that they once had, once knew, going to be taken away. What the World Economic Forum say? You going to own nothing and be happy. So everything these people got, attachments, again, even family, diseases, all these things about to happen. All of these things about to happen. So he ain't gonna finish the digital system. But the point right here is that at this time, Esau think he gonna begin a new world order by way of a digital system, MOTB and all that. That's when the people go lose it. Because in other words, the people go be pushed to their limit at this point. So let's read what happened next. It says, while ignoring the legitimate government, and there will no longer be free access to the cities. Why? Lockdowns, checkpoints, or you can't get in except you have the MOTB or digital ID. It says there will no longer be free access to the cities. Why? Because the struggle for power will bring destruction. So these nations struggling to see who's going to be a leader of the digital system, that's going to bring destruction. It says because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. Not just confusion, it says, it's a total confusion. I'm going to just look that up real quick in Google. It says confusion. It says mental confusion. It says in psychology, confusion is the quality or emotional state of being bewildered or unclear. It says lack of understanding, uncertainty. It says the state of being bewildered in one's mind. So it says total confusion, complete confusion, man. In the times we coming in, meaning what? These people's minds gonna be gone. Think about if you had to live through seeing your wife or even your husband get raped, your children get raped, and then put the death in front of you. Think about the trauma these people about to see with these new diseases. You might see your loved one bleeding from the eyes. However it's gonna be. You see? It's gonna be multiple things that cause a person to lose their mind, man, and turn into a beast. So it says because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live, driven by. So it's gonna tell us why these things gonna come. Because of what? Driven by famine and terrible suffering, and what? And people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. Hard times gonna make people lose it, and that's why Yahweh Shai said this. Let me get this real quick. It's Matthew chapter 24. Matthew 24. And we're going to get a word right here. It's Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Let's read that one more time. It says, because iniquity shall abound. What's iniquity? That's lawlessness. Lawlessness. And in the times we come into, it's going to be complete lawlessness. So because lawlessness go abound, it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Ain't going to be nobody holding open a door, you know, or let you go first. Oh, I'm going to save some, right? I was say, no, everybody going to be trying to, you know, focus on themselves, man. But let's get this word cold, because it says the love of many going to wax cold. Now, it's cold. Well, it's spiritual, because this word for cold, the Greek word for cold, is G5594. Guess what it is? Psycho. Psycho is spelled Psycho, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many gonna wax psycho. People go turn psycho mode, man. You know? Again, we about to get in 2 Ezra 5, and I'll probably end it with that. People gonna have no type of self-control. Anything go in this time, man. So again, the closer we get to the end, the more people will begin to lose their minds. Which for us, that show the closer we get to the end, walk even more wisely. Because these people are at the end. They at the last. They need any little thing to react. Even, you know, whatever it may be, they need any little thing to react. So that's another thing for us to be wise amongst these people as they are losing their mind. One more time. It says, because iniquity shall abound, and love of many shall wax cold, man. People can turn psycho. And it says waning love. Waning love. Let's end it on this. 2 Ezra 5. We end it on this. This 2 Ezra. Come on, man. 2 Ezra 5, we will get straight to the point. I got to get back into the job. 2 Ezra 5 and 8, it says, there shall be confusion also in many places. This is the second time we read confusion. It says, and a fire shall be often sent out, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and the menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. And salt water shall be turned into sweet. Check this out. And all friends shall destroy one another. Now look, if friends destroy one another, What are enemies going to do to each other? What are people who don't even know each other going to do if friends go destroy one another? It says, and friends shall destroy one another, and then shall wit hide itself. And this going to be the time the Lord going to take away his truth, take his prophets off the streets, take the edification off the YouTube. Whether the Lord do it or he used Esau to do it. The point is, this when the Lord going to send that famine in the word. And it's cold because at the time people going to need answers the most, that's the time the Lord going to take the answers away. So that's what's happening right here. And let's see how these people go respond where they don't have the answers of what's going on, how long it's going to be, why is this happening. I'm talking about when Jacob's trouble. And think about it, every day going to get worse. Every day something new going to happen and leading up to Yahweh cracking the clouds. So it's like, what the fuck? They go think like, what the fuck? Every day is worse. I just seen a fucking robot. You see, people gonna lose it, man. But as I was about to say, at the time when these people lose it, the Lord will take your truth away. And then let's read how they go respond to not having the answers. Going back to the point, people gonna lose their mind. And what Gerald Celente said, when people have nothing else to lose, they lose it. That it is your mind. Let's finish this. It's 2 Ezra chapter 5 and verse 9. And salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. And then shall wit hide itself. Right? Wit is your sharpness, your mental faculty. I like to use the word acuity. You able to make decisions. Or should I say practical decision making. It says, then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into a secret chamber. The prophet's going to be taken away. It says, and it shall be sought of many and yet not be found. People gonna be looking for the answers, man. They gonna want to know what's going on and why is all this happening. It says, and then, so once they don't find it, it says, and shall be sought of many and yet not be found. And then shall unrighteousness, what is that? Lawlessness. See? Wickedness gonna increase. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth. Let's go into the word incontinent or incontinency. Incontinency. Let me look it up. Which is go into a lack of self-control. Incontinency or incontinence. It says, my phone be working slow. It says, the inability of the body to control the evacuative functions. It says, a failure to restrain sexual appetite. It says, a lack of self-control, man. A lack of self-control. And think about it. Not just that people ain't gonna have the answers. It's gonna be a actual famine going on. So you're gonna have people who destitute of food and drink. At the same time, you're gonna have people who they didn't get sleep in a long time because they just gonna be running on the run. So no food, no drink, no sleep. You're running for your life. At the same time, you don't have the answers. Oh yeah, people gonna lose it. It might be a hot day, and down the street, like down the street, you can see like it look like water on the ground. Yeah, people gonna be running thinking that's water, and it's just a little heat wave. You can have a little short. If you got two sons, one skinny, one short and fat, you go look at that skinny one like he a snack. You go look at the short one like he a little hamburger, on the cartoons, right? But your mind gonna mess with you, man. And guess what? Without this truth, it's over for an individual. But let's read that again. I gotta get back in. It says 2 Ezra 5. This 2 Ezra chapter 5 and verse 10. It says, and shall be sought of many and shall not be found. And then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth, man. So again, going back to the point, the closer we get to the end, the more people will lose their mind. Lord willing, the lesson was edifying. We'll give all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Al Shah, Bashem, Chakodash. Keep fighting, keep pushing. We almost out there. Shalom.